Number 5. Viotech GN34CW. The Viotech GN34CW presents the highest value per dollar ratio with its 100Hz QHD ultra-wide screen at a price point that's way below $500. The device also sports an attractive design and it's being marketed as a monitor for both gaming and professional use. The Viotech GN34CW sports a contemporary aesthetic that makes it look like it should be used for studios rather than a gaming setup. This new variant sports a white chassis with silver accents, making it very attractive in a market where white and minimalist builds have become popular. Build quality for the Viotech GN34CW could use some improvements since it looks like that aspect took the hit from the price reduction. The plastics used feel thin at some points, but they don't flex to the point of breaking with minimal force. The Viotech GN34CW boasts a 34-inch curved VA panel with a 3440 by 1440 resolution, a 100Hz native refresh rate and 4 millisecond response time. The backlight is listed at 300 CD per meter squared, while the contrast ratio is 3000 to 1, which is common with monitors that use VA technology. The display has an 1800R curve, which isn't too pronounced, but with an immersive effect that's more appreciable due to the width of the screen. The Viotech GN34CW's QHD screen offers excellent levels of detail and crispness that'll not reduce visibility to the point of requiring scaling. Games look sharp enough to lessen the need for enhancements like anti-aliasing, while professionals will get a kick out of the extra horizontal space that's useful for multitasking. The Viotech GN34CW is a FreeSync monitor, but it's not entirely compatible with NVIDIA Gsync. Some issues such as flickering can arise from the display, and we've seen some reports that this issue isn't isolated to one unit. Input lag sits at 10 milliseconds, so there are no delays or desynced instances while playing. The Viotech GN34CW is too cheap to ignore if you want an ultra-wide monitor for everyday purposes such as multitasking and gaming. The curved VA display offers excellent image quality despite the budget product treatment, while the design looks attractive and classy. Number 4. LG 34GL750B. The LG 34GL750B is a gaming monitor that hits a lot of the right notes and looks great while doing it. Its 34-inch diagonal is huge and it tops its gaming credentials with a gentle curve. And that's not the only attractive attributes that make it a great buy. It supports AMD FreeSync and it runs on an IPS panel. You'll also love the 1 millisecond response time and the 144Hz, all of which make it a great gaming monitor. The 34GL750B even looks great from behind, thanks to the beautiful ergonomic stand. For the price, this is a serious investment, one that would benefit greatly from built-in speakers and a USB-C port. The 21:9 aspect ratio is more useful than what you'd get on taller 4K screens. The additional width is ideal for films, and it provides extra screen real estate for working. As described, it's great for gaming. Racing titles tend to have more immersion as scenery flashes past and there's more room to maneuver in FPS titles, and RTS and MOBA games really get a boost. The panel is secured inside a good-looking plastic enclosure that's accented with red along the back of the screen and part of the stand. Build quality is also fine and the screen feels sturdy on a desk despite its width. Going by LG's price, it certainly means this 21:9 panel has a 2560 by 1080 resolution. That's fairly lower than rival screens. Both AOC CU34G2X and BenQ PD3220U use 3440 by 1440, but they cost hundreds more than the LG 34GL750B. Having a lower resolution has its cons and pros. For instance, the LG's pixel density of 82 ppi pixels per inch isn't particularly high. It's possible to see pixels when you're up close, and 3440 by 1440 screens tend to have a sharper density measurement of 110 ppi. Most games on these screens will look smoother than on the LG 34GL750B. The LG is a strong performer on both gaming and productivity tasks though. Its brightness level of 256 CD per m squared is within LG's quoted figure, and it's bolstered by a 0.19 CD per m squared, which means the LG delivers a 1363 to 1 contrast ratio. The higher the contrast ratio, the better. It means your colors will be vibrant, and it helps this monitor deliver a wide range of different shades. Even closely matched tones will be easier to tell apart. The LG 34GL750B is a splendid gaming monitor with a gorgeous 34-inch display that boasts a 1 millisecond response time, 144Hz refresh rate, and AMD's FreeSync support. Number 3. AOC CU34G2X. AOC has produced many high-performance gaming screens, and today we're looking at one with HDR and FreeSync, the AOC CU34G2X. It's an ultra-wide curved VA panel, 34 inches diagonal, 3440 by 1440 resolution, and the promise of high performance thanks to a 144Hz refresh rate and a claimed 1 millisecond response time. AOC starts with a 1500mm radius curved panel. It features a claimed 300 nits of brightness, and although AOC's product range doesn't advertise the CU34G2X as an HDR monitor, it supports HDR with HDR10 and an extended color gamut. FreeSync is the adaptive refresh tech of choice, but we confirmed in our tests that the CU34G2X will also run Gsync, and both flavors worked with HDR. The CU34G2X has a thin bezel with a flush-mounted anti-glare layer that appears frameless when the power is off. The image shows an 8mm border with a wider trim strip along the bottom. The front layer has almost no air gap, which eliminates any grain from the picture and renders it very sharply. Applying an HDR signal to the CU34G2X automatically switches it to HDR mode, where you'll find 4 picture options. Display HDR, the default, is by far the best, and it's the only one that doesn't apply edge enhancement to contrasting objects. In the response time test, the CU34G2X was just 1 millisecond off from the 165Hz screens. We thought it would beat the 120Hz AG493UCX, but it didn't quite pull that off. It did lop 2 milliseconds off the total lag score, fitting in right between the 120 and 165Hz levels, as it should. If you're looking for a solid video processing, the CU34G2X has it. FreeSync and Gsync, unofficially, both worked with HDR, and overall input lag kept up with other 144Hz screens. Number 2. Scepter 34-inch curved. When it comes to a widescreen business monitor, there's often a laundry list of features that you may want. The Scepter C345W2560UN seems to tick most of the boxes, thanks to a nicely curved screen, adaptive sync support, a fistful of optimized gaming modes, and solid color performance that make your games look great. When it comes to design, this is where Scepter has taken advantage of the latest tech. Apart from the 1500R curve, it features similar specs to the standard gaming monitors, but it also bumps up that panel refresh rate all the way to 100Hz, making it somewhat of an industry first in providing a frame rate that's higher than we've previously seen in its 27-inch predecessor. The Scepter C345W's 34-inch panel measures 31.83 by 17.88 by 8.88 inches and weighs 16.6 pounds and has a pair of 3-watt speakers. Other features include a 2560 by 1080 resolution, 92% sRGB color gamut, 6 millisecond response time, 320 CD per meter squared peak brightness, and 3000:1 contrast ratio. On the back of the chassis, you'll find 2 HDMI ports and a single display port. A single 3.3mm audio input means you can plug headphones or a gaming headset right into the monitor instead of snarking a cable around your PC, and the monitor has a pair of its own speakers. The C345W2560UN performs well as a general-use monitor, ideal for the office, and easily shines as a gaming monitor. It uses a 2560 by 1080 resolution panel to deliver crisp pictures and vivid colors underlain by an 80Hz max 100Hz refresh rate, 320 CD per m² contrast ratio, and 6 millisecond response time. The Scepter C345W is easily one of the most impressive widescreen curved monitors on the market. It boasts excellent color performance, supports adaptive sync technology for tear-free gaming, and a sleek design, though without the gaming LED lights. Number 1. LG 29WK600W. LG's newest monitor is a 29-inch widescreen wonder. Featuring a stunning 21:9 aspect ratio, the ultra-wide HD IPS monitor is a PC display for the modern worker. Every inch of this bad boy displays an amazingly color-accurate picture. Measuring in at 27.5 by 16.2 by 8.2 inches and weighing about 11.5 pounds with a stand attached, this flat-screen monitor packs in a sturdy heft. It definitely doesn't feel like it'll fall apart in your hands, which is a problem that some monitors with cheaper build qualities sometimes have. The massively wide length of this monitor is truly something you're going to want to experience yourself. Just a quick disclaimer, we can attempt to relay the experience the best we can, but merely describing the experience does not do the display any justice. Naturally, the first thing we wanted to check out was the overall image quality. The colours are startlingly vibrant and the contrast between colours is strong. The display's bezel is very thin. We find thick bezels to be distracting and intrusive, so the attention to detail was a welcome surprise. Another design element that filled our hearts with aesthetic joy is the sleek and ergonomic stand. Because of the stand's curved design, the monitor winds up taking very little desk space, which is one of the biggest reasons we were excited for the 29WK600W in the first place. FreeSync uses a combination of software and hardware to provide gamers seamless and fluid motion. That means no more stuttering and no more tearing. With its ultra-wide display, HDR10 compatibility, split screen and dual screen capability, AMD FreeSync and other advanced gaming features, the LG 29WK600W is a versatile display for those short on space and even shorter on time. Buying guide. Firstly, knowing your budget. Whenever you're shopping for any computer hardware, knowing your budget is the first thing you should do. Monitors can vary considerably in price, and some features are simply not going to be found below a certain price point. By knowing how much you have to spend, you can narrow down your available options very quickly, and you can focus your search on those features that are available in your price range. Secondly, panel types. TN. If you're a hardcore PC gamer, then Twisted Pneumatic or TN panels may be your first screen of choice. TN panel computer monitors boast the highest refresh rates and fastest response times. Being one of the oldest display technologies, TN panels produce picture by utilizing translucent pneumatic liquid crystals within glass plates, a color filter, and two lined filters, one vertical and the other horizontal. Due to the polarizing effect that occurs within TN panels, these types of monitors have the poorest color representation and viewing angles. VA. Coming about in the 90s, vertical alignment or VA panels have their liquid crystal cells rest in a vertical position when the display is not in use. Once voltage is applied to the display, the crystals shift to a horizontal orientation to let light and ultimately your picture through. Similar to IPS panels, VA computer monitors were made to provide an alternative option to the forerunner TN panel monitors. IPS. Compared to TN panels, in-plane switching or IPS panels house and emit the best viewing angles and most accurate colors. IPS panels were specifically designed to make up for the limitations of traditional TN panels. Perfect for graphic design artists or cinematographers, IPS computer monitors have their inner crystal liquids adjust their alignment on a single plane, hence the name, to show accurate true-to-life colors from any viewing angle. Thirdly, screen size. When searching for your next monitor, screen size will most likely be the first thing you look at. Like any consumer electronic display, screen size is measured diagonally from either bottom corner to its opposite top corner or vice versa. Currently, the screen sizes on Newegg range up to 80 inches, but the average range that should be in your buying sites is between 19 and 43 inches.